stay-at-home moms, do you feel like your life is all work?
I do just about everything in the house, take care of the kids.
And no pay?
The kids get an allowance, and I get an allowance as well.
What's my money? I figured I could do that.
We reveal the magic number that could end your battle of the budget. Chris, does this sound reasonable to you?
Cheaper than replacing me.
Yeah.
Being a stay-at-home mom is certainly a full-time job. It's several full-time jobs. You manage the household, you take care of the kids, you do the cooking and the cleaning, and you make sure everybody is, as happy as you can make them. But what that job doesn't offer is a paycheck. And that is a problem for one of our viewers who says she's a little bit tired of getting in line with her kids to ask her husband for a weekly allowance. Watch this.
Okay, here's your money for the week.
Thank you. The kids get an allowance, and I get an allowance as well. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do just about everything in the house, take care of the kids. I just don't get a paycheck for it. This is one of the boxes of cereal that we go through in a day. The budget that I get is about $150 to $200 a week, and most of that goes to groceries. Big family, 2 bags of potatoes.
I think the amount that I give her weekly should be sufficient for the things that she needs to buy for the house.
My daughter needs it. My husband doesn't realize how much it costs to be pretty. After you pay for the things that you have to, there's really not money left over for me to spend. So if I do need money, I do have to ask for it.
King of 114.30.
Well, we're definitely on a budget. It's dictated by my salary. My wife has tried to pay the bills, but at one point the phone got shut off.
A typical conversation when I ask for money is he's frustrated. Truck needs to go to the garage. Needs to get fixed.
Great. I got to go back to work now. It's very frustrating because I feel like I just gave her money.
When I have to ask him for more money, it's belittling. I'd like to get place an order for pickup, please.
If it's something like she wants to order some takeout food after doing food shopping that day, I really can't see the need for it,
I don't want to be on the same level as the kids, but because I don't have a paycheck, we're not equal partners.
I don't think I'm a tyrant with the money. I think that I'm more a realist about what we can actually afford and what we can't.
Hi, Daddy.
My husband feels because he makes the money, he can spend whatever he wants. There's really not a budget when he takes the kids shopping.
I need to go shopping. Dad, you took her 3 times in a row.
And there's always a budget when I take them shopping, so I look like the bad guy.
I know what the budget is, and it's my money. I figured I could do that.
I need a budget to stay in line. I do, but I don't want the argument when I have to justify every little thing I want to spend money on.
So, please welcome Dawn and Chris. They're in our front row, our couple. And here to help out this family a little, is the co-author of Get Financially Naked, How to Talk Money with Your Honey. This is Manisha Thakor. Please welcome. So, before we chat with the lovely Manisha here, I did want to talk briefly to Dawn and Chris. Chris, never call it your money, honey.
Oh, obviously.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but don't let him hear you say that again. Now, this was a model for most of modern family life in America. This was the model. The husband, brought home the bacon, so to speak, and the wife managed the house and had the budget and the thing. Now, so this is not, as far everybody in the audience is like, oh, really? But this was a model for a lot of years in our country. And you guys have tried to work this out at home, right? I mean, you do try and talk through
Yeah, I mean, we tried to work this out this has been going on for years, working with the money as far as what budget we're working under, and, how much kind of a budget that, or I don't like to call it an allowance, but an allowance that she can spend weekly, Yeah.
Okay, so Dawn, have you thought, I was told that you were thinking about even going back to work, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you had a job prior to having all the kids, and so it was weird for you to transition from having your money to having to share one pile of money.
It's hard not to justify how you spend your money, and then all of a sudden you have to justify it. If I needed something, a book, a haircut, anything, I would just go do it. I didn't say, listen, I need $30, $40 for this. The kids need this for lunch.
And do you guys have, do you have access to your bank account, to the family bank account?
Yes.
So I mean, the obvious question is, why don't you just go use the cash machine?
Well, that's what she, 9 times out of 10, that's usually what happens, you know?
I did, and then
we run short.
We did. We ran short. I think they turned the phone off one time, and he said, "That's it."
Well, one time's a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, it is scary when they turn your phone off. It's a scary place to be in. All right, so Manisha, why is money in general so hard for couples to come to some sort of valid compromise on?
Rachel, this question is huge. I'm reminded of Lance Armstrong, who says it's not about the bike, or Janine Roth, a noted eating disorders expert, who says it's not about the food. When I listen to Dawn and Chris, it's not about the money.
It's not about the money, is it?
It's not. No. It's not. It's about the emotions, the financial emotions you're experiencing. And also what I sense is that you're not understanding the financial roles that each of you are playing that are equally as important to your household. That's what just jumps out front and center to me as I watch that footage.
Yeah. And I feel that they both feel this tremendous pressure. He's working hard, doing everything he can. He's like, listen, it's not me. It's just is what it is. This is what we have, and that's that. And for her, she's like, you really don't get it. You don't know what things cost. And why should I have to ask you, because I need a haircut, for God's sake?
That's exactly it. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, put myself in Chris's shoes, and he's thinking, I'm working my butt off to provide for this family of 5, and I'm doing a darn good job of it, and you are. And then I'm thinking of putting myself, Dawn, in your shoes, and you are making that household run like clockwork for a family of 5. And the fact that you can grocery shop for a family of 5 on $100,
I know. I was like, she's fantastic. Well, that's what I spent on 2 people.
But this brings up a key point, which is I'd like to ask you now to try and put yourselves in each other's shoes. So, Chris, I'm going to start with you and say, you're working your butt off with work. Let's talk about butts in another standpoint. How much do you think it costs to buy an 8-pack of toilet paper?
An 8-pack of toilet paper. I really wouldn't have an idea how much an 8-pack of toilet paper would cost.
Or how many 8-packs your family runs through in a month?
We go through a lot of toilet paper.
So an 8-pack, and I'm not talking about that skinny, scratchy kind. I mean, the good stuff.
Yeah.
That could cost $8 to $10 a pack, and if you're going through several packs a month.
I know. I mean, like I said, I have no idea how much that costs. I know how much we go through with stuff. Cereal, especially. You know.
Yeah, we were just talking about cereal over the break. It costs a fortune, and it can last one morning if 5 people are eating out of that one box.
Completely, and so that is what Dawn is managing so successfully for you. And Dawn, you're keeping that house running. Let's think about the cost of the home. I mean, do you have a sense of how much interest your mortgage is currently costing you all, what the interest charge is on it, or whether it's a fixed or variable rate mortgage?
No, I don't anymore.
And he's got the burden of the bigger picture.
Right. And so I think this is what we have. Previously we had a disconnect of emotions, but I think you're now seeing what's going on with each other. Now what we have is a disconnect of information, and the good news is that can be solved.
So this can be fixed. We're going to take a little break to let her formulate the game plan, but this is getting quite exciting. We'll come back for Manisha's #1 tip for couples that are battling over the budget. Right after this. And Chris and John, who've been a little at odds for quite a long time. It's money issues, or we thought it was money issues. We're discovering it's really emotional issues. Each of them not feeling really validated and a little frustrated in their roles. And she's the co-author of Get Financially Naked, which I think is a very clever little cover there. So we were just discussing putting each other, put yourself in your honey's shoes when it comes to money. Is that your #1 tip, or you got one even bigger?
So the big tip is a 1-word tip, and that's communicate. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of talking about money with your honey. Really, money is the pink elephant in bedrooms across America.
True.
It is. It is.
100%.
And you think about when you meet that someone special, your friends will say, "Are you physically compatible? Are you spiritually compatible?" But nobody asks you if you're financially compatible. But what's the #1 thing that we fight about in marriages? It's money. So if it feels awkward at first, that's okay. You're not alone. And in fact, you'll be role models not only for your family, for your kids, but for your friends and extended family members. So talking about it, and there are a couple of different things I want to highlight. And I say this from a place of love. It's a little bit of tough love. But Chris, one of the things I notice is you come across very much as like the father figure, like I'm in charge and this is what you get. And Dawn, there's a little bit of almost you lining up with the kids and accepting. And I want you to take back the power. And Chris, I want you to share and collaborate, because Dawn is a smart woman. Anyone who can grocery shop for less than $200 a week is a smart woman. So you two are going to be a great team together. But most importantly, what you're going to do is give your kids this incredible gift, because they're going to watch you working together as a family unit, talking openly and honestly about money in your household. And how many people experience that? None of us did growing up. So communicate is the first thing I want you to take away. The second is Dawn really needs some money of her own that you are allowed to spend every single month, however the heck you want to. And you guys together need to set that dollar
and figure out how to find it, how to budget it.
Right, exactly.
You know, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you know, when I talk to people about, a lot of moms especially write in and say, I can't afford to cook this or that, can I substitute this or that? You know, I tell people to just make a good food fund. Like, you keep a jar in the kitchen and the entire family throws their loose change in it. So, you know, when you find $1 in the pocket of her coat, and then you can always go to the coin store at the grocery store or something. It's found money. And it adds up. Like, once a month, my husband and I do this, and just with the two of us, we end up with a good 40, 50 bucks that we didn't otherwise have.
Case in point, and my sense is from listening to you guys that the dollar amount, well, let me ask you, Dawn, Chris, what do you think the right dollar amount would be per month?
For myself to spend on a household?
Money for you to spend, yes. No, not on the household. On you.
Not on groceries. Like,
this is
money for you.
I haven't thought about it.
What's in your gut? What's in your heart?
Maybe $100?
That's a haircut, a movie, a couple of cocktails with the girls.
Yeah, that would probably be nice.
And that is 3% of Chris's take-home pay, and that's a very reasonable number. 3% of Chris's take-home pay every month went into your pocket to do what was good for you.
And now, you're considering going back to work?
The kids are older, and the youngest is 10. She's
so maybe a little part-time kind of a thing?
Something that's part-time that, you know, that's close to home, which would be perfect, because then I don't feel as if I'm leaving her or, you know, not being able to get the rest
and you have a little me fund.
Right.
Then until then, Chris, does this sound reasonable to you? You think you could work out something where she could have a little
I think we could work something.
Me money?
I think we could work something out for a little me money for Dawn, yeah. I think
cheaper
so.
than replacing me.
Yeah, I could.
Bet she didn't put that in the book.
You said 3%. So
yeah, 3% is perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Woo, Dawn just brought the sauce, didn't she? Best of luck to the both of you guys. I really appreciate you coming on. You know, I have to say, it's very difficult and tense for all of us to talk with our mates and our families about finances. So give it up for the two of them for letting us into a very private conversation. Really nice. And because nothing cures stress better than chocolate, today's snack of the day happens to be chocolate. Antoine Amrani chocolates. Could that sound better, more exotic? It's for the 7 Bar Foundation, and they're right here in New York, New York. They're gorgeous. Antoine Amrani chocolates. Gorgeous. Thank you, guys. Champagne truffles. Champagne truffles. You want one of these? Up next, I'm in the kitchen. Be right back. These are gorgeous.